Yo, episode 200 is finally here. I want to thank everybody for being on this journey with the show this long, tuning in each time an episode uploads for it onto Facebook, onto YouTube, onto Snapchat, wherever the show gets uploaded to. Thank you for really being a part of this. It has been one hell of a journey. There's a lot of times where I wasn't sure if I was on the right path of doing this thing, and then there would be messages from the universe through other people coming and telling me about what some of the content had did for them and how they would treat their kids and how they would look at life and switching their perspective. So we're definitely on the path in which we should be on at the moment in life. So very grateful for that. But yes, thank you guys for really being a part of this. Like, it means more to me than you know, like that you'll support these things. However many people that we have in this tribe trying to heal, trying to better ourselves each day that we get up and realizing that there's work to be done on ourselves and to not worry about the next person. You take care of that person by taking care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Not allowing people to project their insecurities onto us, allowing us to be responsible for us. So very grateful to the censors for being with me this long, being with the show this long, and look forward to seeing you guys at for the next episode. It's about to go 300. Let me be grateful for the next damn episode. But in all seriousness, thank you truly for tuning in, supporting, contributing at times, with your questions, submissions and all that stuff. And of course, you can submit those questions through the inbox on the Facebook. And yeah, enjoy the show. Doing this show taught me about a lot of the mentors, how they've helped shift my mind in hopes to share their knowledge and put it in a way that I've interpreted it to give it to my tribe. You know what I'm saying? The censors. Shout out to the censors. Every last one that watches the show, each time that you do, I'm truly grateful for you.
Roll me, Mac.
All right, so, what do you feel is your identity? I feel like my identity is non-existent. Now, that's the end game, right? But let's go back to the beginning and what I thought my identity was. And it's crazy because my therapist, Megan, she's actually dope. Here in Jacksonville, and she had me ask that question for the next session that we had, like, what is your identity from childhood to now? And I went through a lot of those identities that I thought who I was, you know what I'm saying, and what I aligned myself with. And a lot of times, at one point in time, I considered myself to be like this nice guy, right? And anything, when it comes to our identity, anything that we feel like we are, anything that goes against that, we will not do it. You know what I mean? Like if the if the situation arises for you to handle some shit, kind of like something a nice guy wouldn't do, you ain't gonna do that shit. And that poses as an issue a lot of times for some of us. And just aligning so what I'm saying is that I aligned myself with being this nice guy, right? So anything outside of being a nice guy, I wasn't gonna do it. I don't know if it's necessarily fear, or I think it's more fear of losing people and like losing that love, what I thought I had was like attached to. It was like an attachment, not so much really love. But I throughout my life, looking back, yeah, the nice guy shit, the the good boy, the charmer, the pickup artist, the what I'm saying, the wannabe bad boy bullshit, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of like what pain had put me into. Trauma, let's call it that. Trauma had sent me into various lanes that I thought that I aligned myself with that would make me feel better. And sometimes it did, depending on what was being done, that is. But in all seriousness, that trauma put me on a path that that was the point of no return. And with that, I found myself lost because I kept being something that wasn't necessarily essential with my soul, if that makes sense. I was doing things outside of what my soul was to be. Rather, I was doing things for the ego. I was doing things to get a certain reaction from people, from women. You know what I mean? Like I really was lost trying to find love and the sense of security or support system, and that identity crisis that I was going through, man. I forgot I really did lose sight of who I was and what I stood for. I didn't even know what I stood for. I don't think I ever did. I think since I was a child, I was always just trying to fit in, right? So, I mean, I never had any solidarity to base myself on. Depending on, I was in survival mode, really. Just trying to survive, trying to make sure that I did not crumble, that I stayed afloat. And it's a very trying position to be in when you realize that you are not able to be, like yourself. You're not comfortable being yourself or doing certain things for fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of not being loved. And that's how powerful love is. Love is so powerful, you'll do just about anything to get it. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, that's how crazy it is. Like, if you feel that desperate, you will do anything to find fucking love, to feel loved. You'll stay in a fucked up ass relationship. You'll stay at a fucked up ass job. You'll go visit your toxic ass family, even though they treat you like shit. You know what I'm saying? These are examples, you know what I mean? But like you'll wear certain clothes and shit just to fit in with people, and you don't even like the shit. You know what I'm saying? You'll watch certain shows, that you listen to music that you don't even fucking like. Like that's how much love affects us as humans, man. And it's crazy that we'll do anything for something that we already fucking have. Like love is just already there. And which brings me to the current point. So Eckhart Tolle has this book called The Power of Now, right? And he discusses the idea that you're attached to an identity is nothing but your ego trying to resurface. When you're in the present moment, you're being, and that's what we are. If somebody asks me today, what's my identity? My identity is just being in the present moment, and like just living right there, responding in that present moment, whatever the moment dictates, that's what I am. I'm in the being, I'm a human being, you know what I'm saying? So trying to make sure that I remain authentic as possible is it can be nerve-wracking, because that's also can be the ego trying to hold me to an identity again, versus just being and having not worry about anything, like no stress, no depression, no anxiety, none of those things being the, like an issue, but just to live in the said moment and move from, and go from there. That's what that's how I feel about like identities and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like align with a lot of things. The whole thing. I mean, I read up a lot like on alpha males and beta males and shit like that. Yeah, I look at that more so as like mental awareness and understanding things. You're understanding your surroundings. It's strategy, if you will, and you have to have strategy. I mean, a ship that leaves, the dock without a destination is gonna go where? We don't fucking know. You know what I mean? But so to have, something that, guidelines that kind of help you be a better man, if you will, be a better person, and not to take advantage of other individuals is, I don't see anything, ineffective like that. I think that's pretty effective for me. I find that to be effective. But where I was going with it is that not having an identity anymore. So, I mean, to answer that question fully, and after saying all that bullshit, is that I no longer have an identity. I focus on being in the present moment. Now I'm human. A lot of this, my programming can try to pull me back into an egotistical mindset. And whether somebody points it out, criticizes, or even if I recognize it myself, I bring myself back to that present moment and focus on the being. And that's pretty much it. So I want to try to stay away. What were childhood luxuries for you? All right, so childhood luxuries. Childhood luxuries for me is like Pizza on Fridays in general, or cheeseburger, macaroni, hamburger helper is commonly something that I looked at as a luxury for me. Going back to it, another childhood luxury is like Blockbuster Video. Being able to go to the visual Netflix years before Netflix would be created, to walk into this place that looked magical to an 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 7-year-old, whatever years that used to go to Blockbuster heavily to get random games for Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and Sega, and eventually Nintendo 64. And PlayStation. But it was it was cool to go there, the experience that you have going with your pops or your mom or both, and trying to get, trying to decide on a game that you wanted to get. And, they had mad games there, and just, it was like Netflix, literally, like trying to decide what you were going to play, which one were you going to get. And, you wanted to make the right decision. So you're overthinking the shit, just to making sure that you get the right game, and you want to get like WrestleMania, Steel Cage Challenge or whatever for Nintendo, or if you wanted to get Super WrestleMania, that was for Super Nintendo. Commonly wrestling games is what my family was predicated on. Football, football, basketball, sometimes baseball. Hell, I think we've done even soccer a few times, but commonly wrestling games. Wrestling games would be that would be it. That would be what we would go towards. So I would just get like I said, the wrestling games, and that it was fun, like to be there with my cousin who heavily influenced me as far as what games I was gonna get. And it was one time where I went there with my brother, my little brother, and he's like 7, I think Reggie's 7.5 years younger than me, and we and he wanted to. He was very big into Rugrats at the time. So my mom was again gonna tell me that you gonna let that boy play, Rugrats on your PlayStation. I'm like, but it's my PlayStation, So we both rented games for a PlayStation. So I'm like, I got limited time with this fucking game. So I had to sit there and let him play Rugrats. As a little kid, you just, that dopamine, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to get back to your high, of which is playing video games. So once that was, once he would be done, I'd play and whatnot. And then he wouldn't play it no more. And then I ended up playing the shit myself, you know what I'm saying? Like the game for PlayStation. That was just, those earlier times. Another luxury that I would consider for childhood is going to restaurants and being able to get like an appetizer. It was very rare that we were able to get appetizers at restaurants, you know what I'm saying? For whatever reason that was. But we just didn't get them. Whenever we would go out and be able to get like an appetizer, I just thought that would be like, that to me was a luxury. So once I joined the Air Force, we would go out to, go out to dinner and stuff like that as airmen. And when we would, and when we order, I was ordering appetizers like they were entrees. And because I didn't realize that appetizers were meant to be shared with the table, and I wasn't taught that proper dinner, etiquette yet. So I'm in survival mode, you know what I mean? So it's like I'm ordering appetizers as entrees and then ordering an entree on top of that. And sometimes you obviously take some stuff home because we lived in the dorm, so you always wanted to take food back so you never have to leave out again. But after a while, I just look at that as, that luxury. Like I wanted to get an appetizer because it was something that I very rarely got as a kid. Same with going to drive-thrus, like we would go to drive-thrus and my mom would tell me and my brother, now you can only get one thing off the menu or whatever. So I was like, all right, cool. So what we would do, what I would do when I I had my own money, you know what I'm saying, and I was working at McDonald's at one point in time too, but this is when, military in the Air Force, I would go to drive-thrus and wreck fucking shop. I would tear down like $10 worth of junk, just because, you know what I'm saying, just to be like, yeah, I'm grown now, like ego bullshit, you know what I'm saying, trying to prove to yourself that you're grown and that you can eat whatever, you can do whatever you want, you can eat whatever you want. But I look at those things as, I consider them to be luxuries of my childhood. Like I said, Blockbuster, Pizza Hut, like I said, definitely Pizza Hut. And my dad was a very big proponent of meat lovers. So commonly we would have pizza, movies would come out. And so that's another thing that was a luxury too to me. Sometimes we would go to the movies on Fridays, especially on base, being a Navy brat. Like we would be able to go see, like I know we saw Major Payne there. I know we saw Jurassic Park. We saw a few of them. The Nutty Professor 2 on base. That Navy life, you know what I mean? But there was great times, those moments of being able to go and see these things. And that's what I look at as luxuries. Being able to go to like the movies, that's another luxury too. And having the movies down the street from where you live too. I'll never forget when they first built Harborview Grand down the street from Burbage Grant in Suffolk. We were there all the time, and some of us had jobs there. So it was like, you got me? All that shit, you know what I'm saying? Trying to sneak in the movies. Somebody willing to risk their damn job trying to sneak their friends into watching movies. It was stupid. But looking back at it, that was a time to be alive back then. But I looked at that as luxuries, being able to go to the movies on Friday nights with your friends and just really sit there and try to talk to girls prior to the movie starting. That's really what we would try to do. Me and Shad would roll up to the movie theater and just see what potential was out there. And most of the time we didn't really catch much, if I'm being honest. But it's just that idea. It's like the things you see in those movies like American Pie, or what's the one shit, The Wood, you know, like the young boys just out there trying to hunt. And but that luxury, I look at that as a luxury too, to be able to just chill with your, like, the luxury of not having to, like, to be able to watch movies all fucking day. That was a childhood luxury, if you want to talk about it. Because, you know, I look at myself now, and as an adult, buy all this content, entertainment content, electronics, and I am not able to watch most of this shit. It's really for the people that come to visit you, and the people, you know, like if you got a family, that's for them to really see if they don't have jobs or they don't do anything. But I would say that luxury as a child was being able to watch music videos all day during the summer, and whatever TV shows that would come on in between, USA High, Saved by the Bell. What else used to watch? Just a lot of, you know, TV, like that style of TV shows that used to come on, like during the summer. Gullah Gullah Island with my little brother. Just a lot of random shit that used to come on TV. But like I said, I look at those as luxuries. Childhood luxuries to me were going to Blockbuster, pizza on Fridays, or having a cheeseburger macaroni, and then yeah, like appetizers, and yeah, being able to just watch TV all fucking day long.
Hey, what up, everybody? Yeah, do me a favor real quick. Just hit like, subscribe, and of course comment if you have anything, you know, obviously to mention about the show.
How can I get my man to be more assertive and lead in our relationship? It's not impossible. It's gonna take a lot of effort from both sides, because more than likely, you're used to being the one to make all the damn decisions now. You know what I'm saying? So what that means is that once a woman feels like you're not fit to lead, she not giving you many more chances as far as that. Like, if we're gonna run this shit, I'm gonna run this shit, because I know that it can get done my way, because your way don't seem to work. So what that means is that you're going to have to, one, acknowledge the fact that you're not leading as a man, like in a relationship. Understand that you're not being assertive. You have to be honest with yourself initially. And I don't suggest talking over with the woman, because you don't want to show your woman weakness. You do not. She can be aware that you have weaknesses, because you are human, but you do not want to show it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do not want to lead with that, because who respects a weak leader? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not to say that you don't have it, but it's all about, like, you don't want to show weakness. And you know, don't get me wrong, there's some women that can be patient. They can be patient with a man if they see effort and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because they come from that. They've seen that growing up. And then there's some women that all they know is a man to be a strong leader. And those are the women, more than likely, that are not going to give you but so much time to make this decision. That's why it's important to have this shit before you even enter a relationship with a woman. And to a committed relationship with a woman, you need to have lessons in assertiveness and, you know what I'm saying, being a leader, you know what I'm saying, leadership skills. Because she's not gonna tell, most women that, you know what I'm saying, that are about, you know what I'm saying, about their business, they're not going to waste time to raise you for something you should know. They feel that you should know before entering a relationship with them. So, but what a man can do like I said, first be honest with yourself. Second, start reading, start learning from other masculine men, what we call the manosphere. You know what I'm saying? Like learning from those that are, you know, that have shown to be masculine, shown to lead, shown to be good decision makers, know how to operate under distress and, you know, things of that nature. Like, you're not gonna get it all at once. And even myself am still learning. You know, I still have my own weaknesses, if you will, insecurities and whatnot. But it's all about delivery and all about how you carry it, how you deal with it. Don't project your insecurities onto your surroundings, onto your peers as much as possible. Again, not perfect. No one is. No one is perfect. But the objective is to not project your insecurities onto anybody. As a man, as a woman too, especially as a fucking woman, because a lot of time in our society, it's made it okay for women to project their insecurities and, you know, blame you for like, oh, you talking about my stretch marks or whatever. You're talking about me, I'm fat and all this shit. Like, bitch, ain't nobody thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love you for you. I love your fat ass. I love your fucking rolls. Everything. I'm about you. That's why the fuck I'm here. If indeed you felt like you was fat and I'm here with your ass, what that say? That I like your fat ass, okay? You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother story. But in all seriousness though, as a man, like the responsibility I believe as a man to become more assertive and more of a leader is to put yourself in situations where you have to make decisions for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Set goals. Stand by those goals. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask her what she wants to do. Now, ladies, hear me out. And as far as like making a date or whatever, what you want to do is value her, right? You want to value your woman. And by that, I mean, ask questions. When you're asking questions, don't do it just because it's a thing to do. Actually, when you talk to anybody, but specifically for, you know, people in relationships, you know what I'm saying? I'm speaking to heterosexuals right now. Nothing against gays or anything like that, but I mean, I'm sure you can learn from it too. But speaking from my own experience and stuff, and just knowing about this shit. If indeed you are, you know what I'm saying, trying to make a date with your woman, the conversations that you have are pretty much should be cheat sheets. I believe that you should ask certain questions to get to know an individual so that you know what they're into. That way you can come up with a said date, idea, trip, whatever it is that accommodates them. What I believe what a woman wants to see is a man make a damn decision. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some women where you make decisions and they're like, I don't want to do that. And then, you know, or whatever. However, if that man wants to stay and deal with that bullshit, he's more than welcome to. But, you know, if you're listening, if you're paying attention, again, this is not room for assumptions or anything like a woman should be upset because he didn't do this the way that you wanted to do it, but it never was said out loud. It's something that's where communication comes in. But allow him to make the plans, if you will. That takes stress off of you, you know what I'm saying, as far as doing that, because women do a lot of research. Fellas, they do a lot of research as far as like the things that they want to do. They're on fucking Pinterest and shit. They're looking at TikToks. They're on fucking Facebook, whatever social media. They're hearing about shit at the job. Like they're on websites. They're seeing different things to create the adventure. And that is what I believe some of us men did not know. You have to create the adventure, man. Like, and don't play it safe either. Fellas, don't play it safe, all right? Take some risks. You're gonna have to take some risks because you want to, I mean, don't try to get nobody damn killed or nothing like that, but I'm sure that's a rush too, you know what I'm saying? Defying death. But what I'm saying is that for us men to take initiative, you know, like be about setting up the date within your schedule, because you know you got goals and shit like that. So whenever there's time within the schedule, then you can make the, you know what I'm saying, like then you can make the date. And if a woman values you, she will understand and value the fact that you're out there making moves. You are focused on your purpose. Those are the women that you want to talk to anyway. The ones that want to be all about them, that's so self-centered and just, you know what I'm saying, like, fuck what you doing, focus on me. Bye. Let that go. I promise you the universe will send you someone that will value you and your purpose more than her own ego. Like, we're not playing with that shit. Not anymore. It's not fucking happening. You know what I mean? Any inkling of a woman that is making shit about her, bye. No, we're not doing that shit. Because you gotta understand, in order for this to work and operate in a healthy way, I have to be about my purpose, okay? I have to be about my purpose. You have to value me as the man that you want to be with. You're gonna have to enter my frame, you're gonna have to enter my world. But the whole basis for this conversation, you got to give a woman a world to enter. You know what I'm saying? She has to feel safe. You know what I mean? Even taking risks. More inclined to take risks with you if you create a safe environment for her. You know what I mean? So, like, being assertive, learning to be assertive, learning how to lead, controlling your fucking emotions as a man, because yes, women can get under our fucking skin. They really can. They really can get under our fucking skin. And who we're really dealing with is our parents at that point in time. When we get upset, we're upset because we're getting triggered by something that has happened in childhood. You know what I mean? And it's just manifesting into the present day. So like whenever I believe this, and again, what do I really know? I was giving my perspective on it, as I love to say. But I believe that there's two 5-year-olds in the room when I'm yelling at you and you yelling at me. We're not talking to each other, we're talking at each other. So somebody's got to be the fucking adult in the room. So whenever that individual becomes a 5-year-old, you have to be able to calm the 5-year-old. How do you do that? Emotional intelligence. You have to be calm. And you have to, it's like, you know, babysitting your little cousin or something like that, and they just, when I want it down, I want it down. Sit your little ass over there before you get hurt, little boy.
Roll me mad.